What is up, everyone? We just received some great news this morning for Game of Thrones Kingsroad. Two things mainly in this developer note. They are talking about the next update that is coming normally on the 6th of August, if I'm not mistaken, so in less than 1 week now, and they are talking about their future plans. They are planning to change some systems in games such as the combos and the jewelry system upgrade, for example, and they are planning to add some new mechanics as well. Let's get into it. Let's talk first about the improvements. The next update, jewelry system upgrade. We will finally be able to use different pieces of jewelry to recast our jewelries. For example, if I'm using one to increase my crit damage, I can use a crit rate one or stuff like that. But there is still apparently an advantage when you are using an identical jewelry piece to recast your main jewelry. So I think that it's gonna be great if you want to have more stats to use the different jewelries you have in stock until you have your first plus 30 jewelry, but I might be mistaken, I might be wrong about that. And later, it might be interesting to use some identical pieces if we can get some over time to have more stats. This is how I seeing that, alright? Let me know your thoughts in the comment. So this is great to progress in my opinion. Skill progression grouping. They heard the feedback and they are changing the strike combos, how they work, how you level up your combos. Before, we needed to upgrade only one combo and we were cycling that combo again and again in battle because that was the only way to deal some high damage with the combos. And now they are planning to take all the combos and to put them in one group that you will level up. So in fact, all the strike combos, the 1, 2, 3, and 4 will have the same level, which means that whatever you want, you can use the combo you want. So this is something great. Very, very nice improvement here. Mobile controller support. They are planning to add some DualSense controllers and a range of mobile gamepads to both Android and iOS platforms. So if you are playing mainly on mobile, then if you just have a controller, you can play more easy on your mobile. So this is something great because let's be honest, it is super hard to play with the screen of your mobile. I tried that many times and it is not developed for mobile. Just the joystick, like you can have only the movements that you have on PC, forward, left, right, and behind, and the other angles, you know what I mean? So they are planning to change that and this is something cool. And now they are talking about the updates that is coming, some new seasonal content. The second season, High Garden Grand Festival. They are planning to add not a new region, but to add more routes, more story mode to the High Garden map we currently have at the moment. They are planning to cover the marriage of Marjorie Tyrell and Tommen Baratheon, and we will have some issues during that marriage, and this is basically the story of the next season that is coming very soon. Why not? So for now only High Garden, and later you will see in the developer note that they are talking about the next region that will open, but it's not coming on the next update, it will come later. They are talking about Castle Rock, alright? So then, a world level system. So I complained about that in my previous video. I was complaining about the experience that we need to get every time they add some new content, because every 3 or 4 levels, the experience you need to level up your character is doubled, almost, or something like that. Which means that all the previous regions become obsolete. And in fact, they are working on that, and on the next update, normally they should have fixed that issue. They are planning to keep the open world challenging and engaging by introducing that level system. So in fact, based on the level of your character, maybe it will be based on your momentum. The enemies in the different regions will have a level synchronized with your character, something like that, which means that basically you can redo all the regions and still get a lot of experience and stuff like that. Maybe it will work the same for the different ferocious beasts if you want to acquire some high tier 5 material or stuff like that. I'm not sure about that, this is not mentioned here, so maybe it's just available for the level and experience given by the monsters, the enemies in the different regions. But this is something cool, and I hope that we will acquire more experience for our character level through that new content level system. That would be great. Because if you are planning to play with the 3 different characters, it takes ages to level up the 3 characters, and you have to make some choices. Whether you want to play and level up your 3 characters or focus on one, and this is a bit annoying. If you want to max out your rewards in game, you need to play with the 3 characters, with the 3 classes, and if we get more experience, we can level them up together, and that would be better to me. So that was all about the next update coming very soon. Now let's talk about their future plans. They are working on the graphics of the game because they found them ugly at the moment and they want that to become better in the future. They are not planning to work on the graphics you have on the mobile, in my opinion, because the game is already not running well on mobile. Or I have a Xiaomi 13, and even with that, which is a high price mobile, it is not running well. And this is just not playable on mobile. I'm generally just using the mobile if I am on the couch with my girlfriend or in the bed, and just to do some dailies and stuff very, very, very fast to complete, like the expeditions and stuff like that. So they are working on that. They want us to feel immersed in the universe of Westeros. This is what they are saying. And one more thing about that, about the immersion, they are planning to add more improvements to the impact you have in battle. You know, when you are hitting enemies, you have some finishers with the different classes, and this is super satisfying if you are playing the sellsword, you are crushing the target, and sometimes it feels very nice. They are planning to add more things to the battles, so you can, how do you say that? Dismember, they want to add some dismemberment effects to the enemy, so this is gonna be even more brutal, and they are planning to do that to enhance the experience you have through Westeros. They want it to be very, very impactful as in the series. So this is something cool. I love when the design, when the effects are brutal and you feel more immersed inside of the game. So this is something cool. A really big feature that they are planning to add in the game in the future, more weapons to the different classes and a weapon swap system. And this is something cool. You have that in New World, you have that in The Elder Scrolls Online, you have that in Chrono Odyssey as well, but it was open for a beta weekend only. But this is something cool. New weapons means new skill sets for the different classes. And if you can swap with that cooldown, then it means that basically you are going to use maybe the ambush with the daggers on the assassin, and then you have maybe something more to enhance your power with the second set of weapons, and it will open your gameplay. They are giving us some examples. For the assassin, you are using dual daggers, and they want to incorporate some rapier-based combat. And for the knights, we are using the greatsword, and they want to add some sword and shield setup for more adaptive defensive engagement, they are saying. Nothing mentioned about the sellsword. So I don't know about it. Maybe a great hammer or something like that. I don't know about it yet. Enhance multiplayer feature, and this is something that might be very interesting, and I hope that we will have that very soon. So it will be more engaging to do the repeatable content with other players. This is what they are mentioning here. Player interaction across repeatable content, including existing field activities and instance dungeons. Maybe the hideouts, you will be able to clear the hideouts with a friend if you invite him or stuff like that. It might be very interesting. That would be cool, and it will go faster to clear this content. I would love that. And these updates aim to provide more opportunities for both cooperation and competition. So this is something cool. And in addition, they are working on some extra raid-style random co-op encounters to bring players together in real time, creating opportunities for memorable moments with each other. So this is what they are working on. More instances and some field activities on the map. So this is something cool. And they are showing us some content preview. The new chapter that will come in Castlery Rock after the new season in High Garden, so maybe in 7 weeks, something like that. A new Altar of Memories, the Basilisk, and a new raid, the Firewheel. So this is what they are working on at the moment, and we will probably see that in like 7 weeks, something like that, at the end of the season 2. And finally, they just sent us some rewards in game, 3 copper pouches, a 30 RP recharge, and a Golden Dragon 500. So let me know what you think about that in the comment, guys. It feels very, very interesting for the future of Game of Thrones. Personally, I didn't know they were working on such a system here, the weapon swap system. This is something very cool that is changing the gameplay, adding more features to that, and this is something cool to keep the game engaging, so I love that. I would love to have more things like that in the future. By the way, that will be very, very interesting. So we are having a lot of good things in the future here. So as I said in my previous video, I was waiting for such a note to know where the game was going, was planning to go in the future. And there are very interesting things in that note, so I'm not planning to stop the game for now. I just, in fact, reduced my time spent on the game. I wasn't even spending all my RP daily. I was just logging in, doing a few dailies and stuff like that, and I was going out. I was just taking my expeditions and stuff like that, and after waiting for that update, I'm gonna continue to do that, and after that, I will go more active. For the new update, as I always did in the past, I will go live. So I'm gonna clear the content live with you guys, and then I will continue the farming. Just not gonna spend the same amount of time as I was spending before, because I have other projects today, and we will see that in the future. This looks very interesting. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment, guys. Have a really nice day, take care, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.